Hey guys, my name is Luke and I am a golfer here in northern Indiana. I had a terrible idea today, and that was to take my SM8 Vokey wedges and make them raw. In order to do that, we need to strip this, I believe it's a black oxide finish on them. We need to strip that off, and how we're going to do that is using some CLR, some wool brushes, some sandpaper, and just repeating that over and over again. I found this thread online. I tried to do more research. I couldn't find any good videos on it. So I decided, why not? Let's just make a video and see how this turns out. If you guys stick around till the end, I will show you the finished result and then check in probably a week later to see how these things are rusting. Also, just a side note, adding rust on your wedges, making them raw, does not increase your spin rate. That is gonna come from, faster swing speeds, attack angles, things like that. So this is just a preference for me. This glare, when I'm looking down at it, it's hitting me in the eyes. So I just thought, hey, let's strip this off. Let's make it raw. I prefer the look of a raw wedge anyway. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as I mentioned, you are gonna need to get this. It is CLR calcium lime and rust remover. Usually people use it in like showers and things like that. Today we're gonna use it to strip the finish off these guys. Along with that, you're gonna need some steel wool. This is just some hand pads. They're grade 000. That's what the thread recommended, so we're gonna do that. You're also gonna need some sandpaper, a 600 grit, 1000 grit, 1500 grit. Get some painter's tape. This is just some double-sided Gorilla tape that I found in my shop. As you can see, it didn't really, stick too well. I would also recommend taking the heads off. For my case, I can't take them off. I'm playing tomorrow and I have a 24-hour epoxy, so heads are staying on. Also grab yourself some gloves just because you don't want to be putting your skin in contact with this stuff, and then grab yourself some shop towels as well. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of these steel wool pads, and I'm just gonna start rubbing this to clean it off. I don't think you have to do this step. I just wanna get any dirt from my previous rounds off of these clubs. You can also use your tool on your golf bag or just soak it in water and soap and scrub it off that way. That's totally fine. Okay, after you have scrubbed these wedges with the steel wool, just take a little shop rag. You're gonna wanna dry these off. If you can see, there's just some leftover dust, stuff from the steel wool on these wedges. So we're gonna dry these off, and then we are gonna pour our CLR into our plastic container and let these things sit for a while. I got my wedges in my Tupperware, and right now I'm just trying to line these ferrules, the bottom of the ferrules up as close as I can get them, just so when I'm pouring this in, it's not touching the tape. I just don't want to mess with any of this getting on the actual plastic itself. All right, we're at a pretty good spot, so I'm just gonna give this a good shake. I don't know if you're supposed to shake it or not, but I just went ahead and did it anyways. And we're just gonna pop this little tab and pour some of this in there. This says to leave it for 45 to 60 minutes. I'm gonna do 60 just to be safe. I will come back here soon and we will get started on sanding. I did see on a separate thread that someone used vinegar instead of CLR. You can also do that, but from what I read, I think you have to leave it overnight, maybe even a day or two. So this is a quicker option. It's like $5 for one of these things at your local hardware store. Also put a link in the description to Amazon, but I would recommend doing it this way. Okay, so these have been soaking for just about an hour. I'm gonna pull this one out. The next step is going to be to scrub. You can already see that some of the black there is coming off. I'm gonna go ahead and just let this drip out over here, and then I'm gonna start scrubbing it with this steel wool and drying it as I go. Yeah, so let's get started. I can already see some results. Definitely taking some of the black layer off. We are gonna repeat this process probably 2 or 3 times just until we have more and more black coming off, and then from there we will start sanding. Okay, so after about 50 minutes soaking in the CLR bath, we have, from what I can see, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's definitely a different finish. We are gonna throw these guys back in there for about 30 more minutes, we'll take them out, and then we will repeat that process and scrub again. While these are sitting in their second round, I just wanted to show you guys something so I don't forget at the end. I made this, it's just a $1 spray bottle. I think my wife got it at Dollar Tree or something. I've got distilled white vinegar and salt in here. I've seen people use hydrogen peroxide with distilled vinegar and salt. I don't have any hydrogen peroxide, so I'm just gonna use this. After these are soaking, we've sanded them, I'm gonna spray this on there. This should be like a rust promoter. Should speed up the process of them rusting, and you guys will be able to see the final results today, so we won't have to wait a week to see it. I cannot believe that this is in May. 50 degrees, rainy. Can't even golf. No golfers on the course. Welcome to Indiana. Also, while we're waiting, I'm not sure if you guys would be interested in this content or not, but I did pick up this EasyGo TXT a while back, and as you can see, I'm working on restoring a couple things. Did a little lithium swap, and we're gonna get this thing cleaned up. We're gonna paint the body and kind of restore it from what we bought it. We're gonna, you know, restore it, make it worth a little bit more. If you think you'd be interested, just give me a thumbs up and I will make that video. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes, and one observation I made is that this liquid is changing color. I'm gonna take these out, we're gonna give them a scrub, and we'll determine if we need to put them back in or if we can start the sanding process. Grab our wool and let's start going at it again. Definitely took more off. Don't have the best lighting where I'm at, but that definitely did do a little bit more than the previous round. We're gonna continue to scrub. Honestly, you could stop here and these look really nice. Kind of gives them like this dull look. That SM8 part's kind of shiny, but everything else is just kind of like this matte finish, which I actually really like. All right, I'm thinking probably one more round of this, and then we will start the sanding process. All right, I will be back in about 30 minutes. We just finished our third round for, well, first round about 60 minutes, and then two 30-minute rounds in the CLR solution. I'm gonna take these out, give them another scrub, and then we should be good to start dry sanding these with the 600 grit. Just wanted to show you guys another comparison. So this is the one that sat for another 30 minutes. Definitely can see another layer coming off there. Definitely recommend doing 3 rounds of this. All right, I was able to get that tape off fairly easy. As you can see, there's the black. It was pretty similar to that black color, not as glossy, but definitely did a number on these. I would recommend still using painter tape. Double-sided tape will work if you just want to play it safe, but yeah, painter's tape should be fine in this situation. We're now ready to go in with our 600 grit sandpaper. You want to be cautious here. Don't do it too fast because you don't want to get any heat on the club. You want to sand all the club. So yeah, take your time here. No need to rush it. If you feel like you're starting to get heat, just stop for a second and then you can start again once that heat goes away. I think I got this one sanded pretty well. I don't know if this is recommended. I am just gonna dip it back in here to get it kind of wet again so I can wipe some of this dust off. Just gonna go ahead and wipe this off. I do notice, like, if you have any dings on your club, you are gonna see those a little bit more here. Here are the two clubs side by side. This one right here, the one we just sanded, definitely looks a little more glossy. Definitely works. Gonna keep sanding other clubs and then we'll check back in when I finish that. I got all 3 of these sanded. Here's what we're left with. Definitely more of a chrome appeal to them. We're looking good. I'm gonna go in with the 1000 grit next, and I will show you guys what it looks like after we do that. Just finished that 1000 grit on my 58 degree. Comparing it to the 54, I can definitely see, you know, it's smoothing out some of those dinks. We're gonna keep going and hopefully, you know, that when we get to that 1500, we'll smooth out all the dinks and we'll get that saltwater vinegar spray on there and get these things rusted. We've got our 1000 grit done. Next, I'm gonna wet sand with the 1500 grit. I'm just gonna put some water on these wedges and go in with the 1500 grit to kind of smooth out some of these dinks and imperfections that we got from sanding with that 600. As you can probably tell from my hands in this shop rag, this is actually taking more finish off when I do the wet sand with the 1500. One thing I am noticing is my grooves. You can probably see that they're still kind of black inside of there. That's fine. What you could probably do is use a club scraper when you're going through the CLR process, just to make sure you're scrubbing out that paint from the inside of your grooves. Overall, this is looking a lot more chrome than black, so I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. So I actually just went inside and rinsed these off, scrubbed them off in the sink, and guys, these are looking really good. I think the next step, we are going to spray these with our saltwater solution. And yeah, we'll stick around, hopefully cross our fingers that these do rust, and if it does, then I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you can go turn your clubs into a raw finish and not have to pay $300 to do that. Alright, we're gonna let this sit for, I don't know, let's say 20 minutes, and we'll come back and see what it looks like. Alright, it's been like maybe a minute and I'm already seeing some orangish brown coloring, especially up there near the ferrule. So I think that's a good sign. I think these are actually gonna rust. Okay, not that I didn't believe in my process, but holy cow. These are completely rusted. I think I was just in there editing the video, and I think I let these sit for probably 30 minutes. These look really good. It's getting pretty late here, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I don't think the camera does it justice, but wow. These are totally different clubs. I think I started at 5 o'clock tonight, and it is now 8:45, and we are done. It's that easy. You guys can skip the hassle of paying Wedgeworks $300 to get you a raw finish on your wedges, and you can go ahead and just do it yourself at home for like 30 bucks, if that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like. Like I mentioned before, I'm going to be working on my golf cart. Probably will do some more stuff with clubs and just golf related things. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe if you want, but appreciate you guys watching. Have a good one.